Okay, great. So let's get into, you mentioned endogenous, your body produces it. Can you explain the difference between dietary oxalates and the endogenous production, please?
Yeah, absolutely. So dietary oxalates are simple. That's the oxalate that's in the food that you're taking into your body. Could also be the oxalate that's in your supplements you're taking into your body because certain herbal products can also have an awful lot of oxalate in them. And certain kinds of amino acids and other supplements can also have potential for you to create oxalate. So dietary oxalate is the oxalate's already present in the food or in the supplement I take it in. Endogenous oxalate, so just so people don't get alarmed by the term, some people have heard endogenous oxalate in very negative ways. We all produce a certain amount of oxalate, so that's your baseline. The issue with making too much endogenous oxalate is really one of exceeding our ability to handle it. And we do have certain nutrients that can contribute to some of that production. So high dose vitamin C is one where vitamin C degrades naturally in any environment, the human body or a petri dish, into oxalate. It's non-enzymatic. It's a straight ahead issue of oxidation. So, and we use vitamin C as an antioxidant. Well, as soon as vitamin C has been oxidized 2 times, then you're going to output a molecule of oxalate. And so we think of vitamin C as being no harm, no fail kind of supplement because it's water soluble and we're just going to get rid of it. But if you're producing oxalate from your vitamin C, that's a problem. The other big potential issue with endogenous production is that if the body's under a lot of oxidative stress, dealing with injury or other kinds of issues like infection, we can use up our vitamin B6. And when we don't have enough B6, we can end up producing too much oxalate. And that is enzymatic, and that is through our metabolism. And it's because we will produce glyoxylate out of our metabolism. If you catch that glyoxylate and you recycle it into glycine, no harm, no fail. Everything works the way it should. But if you don't have enough B6, the enzymes that would help to convert that glyoxylate back to glycine are instead not going to be present, and you're going to end up with other enzymes taking over that product, and you're going to end up with oxalate. So AGT, I think, is one of the ones which is implicated there.
Yeah.
I can get more of the details if people are interested, but bottom line, it's a normal process for us to produce some oxalate. But if we are taking in too many of the wrong kinds of amino acids, like certain amino acids are very prone to be converted by our metabolism into oxalate if we have a plethora of them. Unfortunately, glycine's actually one of them. And certain other things that we think of as being very helpful, like hydroxyproline and collagen, can also be metabolized into oxalate. So we kind of have to think about our doses of some of these things and reduce them. But the biggest factor here, by far, is if we're dealing with a lot of stress, oxidative stress, infection, injury, health conditions which are depleting our B6, we are going to be more likely to produce oxalate endogenously. And that's called secondary hyperoxaluria and is very distinctive from genetic hyperoxaluria, where you would be found when you're much younger. But those of us who have had large health insults, I'm going to say,
Yeah,
those
it
are,
happened to me when I had COVID. So
yeah,
when
so
I had
you can end
COVID,
up producing.
because
Yeah.
and that's why glutathione saves my life. I always say glutathione saved my life. IV when I was sick because I started to produce oxalates and I went and got measured. I did the NutriVal test, the urine, and oh my God, they were all three markers were off the charts high after COVID, and I had more pain in the body. And then I started doing the IV glutathione. I also did ozone. I think that helps too because it's an antioxidant as well. IV, and that just calmed everything down, so I didn't have as much oxidative stress to mitigate some of that formation. So yeah, I mean, I firsthand know exactly what you're talking about.